Hello, fellow peasants. Today I'm going to be talking with you guys about some 4Ks, some Christmas 4Ks that are coming out or are already out. So this is going to be a real brief video. I'm just going to list these movies in case you like updating your collection to 4K and you want to get some of these. I don't have specifics on these really. This is just me letting you know that these are either out there or coming. I think most of these, if not all of these, are already available to purchase or up for pre-order. So you can go check these out if you want to in your spare time. The first one is Elf. Elf is coming to 4K. Elf has probably been around for about 20 years now. I think the film is 20 years old. And it's like a more of a modern Christmas classic. I do know that the Elf was rescanned. The original negative was rescanned, so this isn't like an upscale or anything like that. From what I have heard, the previous Blu-ray looks pretty bad, and that the new 4K scan has a lot more detail. I've seen comparison videos on YouTube from other people's channels, and it is quite the uptick in detail, and the HDR looks pretty good from what I've seen of the screenshots. So once again, Elf is out on 4K. Go check it out if you want to. Next is a older movie. It is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. There's no real info on whether or not this was a new scan or not. They may have just done an upscale from the previous Blu-ray. I'm not too sure. There's not a whole lot of details about the specifics of this transfer. But this is another holiday classic. If you guys have seen this movie and you already own it, this is definitely worth the upgrade from what I have seen and heard of other people who have checked out this release. I don't own any of these releases, so I can't give specifics or my personal input on this. I'm just telling you guys what I've heard and that these are out and available or ready for pre-order. So once again, I can't give you any details or my personal input on these. This is just me letting you guys know they're out there. Next is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. It's also a collection. It's a collection that has Rudolph, it has Frosty the Snowman, and Santa's Coming to Town. These are three huge movies that came out years and years and years and years ago. These are staples of Christmas movie classics. These are classic movies. I don't know, once again, about the specifics of how the scans were done, if these were original negatives or not. From what I have seen online, people say that there is an uptick. I've seen screenshot comparisons. You can't really judge solely off of that. But what I have seen of the screenshot comparisons on YouTube, there is a slight uptick in detail, and the HDR does look better. But that's up for you guys to decide. I once again don't have any personal experience with these transfers. Just letting you know they're out there. Next is A Christmas Story. A Christmas Story. This is an 80s film. Don't know much of the details about the specifics of this. Once again, the detail does seem to have an uptick, and the HDR does look good. And that's just from other sources that I've heard. So check that one out. That one is also available. Polar Express is another movie. Polar Express is a newer film, came out in the early 2000s, about the same age as Elf, I believe, maybe a year or so younger than Elf, or older than Elf. And so they came out about the same time, the mid 2000s. And so I don't know. I think this would have to be an upscale. I don't believe that Polar Express was probably finished and rendered at 4K. When it was done, a lot of the time the CGI back then was rendered at 2K, but I don't know. Once again, I don't know. It's probably a 2K scan upscaled to 4K, but I don't know the details about it. I have seen some screenshot comparisons online. There seems to be a slight uptick in detail, a little bit, but nothing that I thought was super impressive. I've never even seen Polar Express, but just letting you guys know it's out there in case you want to check it out. And other than that, guys, have a good one. That's it. That's the collection that I have for you that's out. If you like these movies, go out there and get them. There's also this isn't a new 4K, but maybe an honorable mention. Last year I did get It's a Wonderful Life on 4K, and it looks really good. So if you like It's a Wonderful Life, it's another Christmas holiday classic that's released in 4K. I would say check that out. I do have personal experience with that. I own the disc, and it does look really, really good. So I would recommend that if you haven't already purchased that. Other than that, guys, have a good day, and peace out.